Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're taking those complex, sometimes dry business frameworks and transforming them into your own personal, actionable guide to the digital economy. If you've ever wondered how the invisible gears of the internet actually turn to generate massive revenue and build whole empires out of thin air, well, you are in the exact right place. I mean, we all click buy a dozen times a week? But have you ever really stopped to think about what happens behind the screen when you do? Behind that single, simple click is this massive, highly sophisticated ecosystem that has literally rewritten the rules of modern commerce. So, here is our roadmap for today. We're going to define the digital marketplace, map out exactly who sells to whom, track the Web 2.0 revolution, decode some e-commerce business models, and finally, look at how to actually fuel a digital enterprise. All right, part one, defining the digital marketplace. Let's get our vocabulary locked in right from the start. Now, a lot of people mix these terms up, so let's clarify. Think of e-commerce as just the digital cash register, literally just the buying and selling part. E-business, on the other hand, that's the entire store. It's the customer service portal, the supply chain collaboration, the internal memos. E-commerce is absolutely crucial, but it's really just one piece of the much larger e-business puzzle. You can actually picture modern business as a spectrum. On one far end, you've got classic brick-and-mortar companies that rely totally on physical storefronts. On the total opposite end are your pure-play organizations. They exist 100% online. And acting as the bridge right in the middle, those are click-and-mortar businesses. Think of traditional companies that have essentially bolted a digital storefront onto their physical footprint. To make all this magic actually happen, businesses basically rely on three essential networks. First, e-marketplaces. These are the digital town squares where buyers and sellers meet. Then you have intranets, which are strictly private, locked-down networks just for internal employees. And finally, extranets. These securely link multiple intranets together, which lets a company safely collaborate with specific VIP partners or suppliers without exposing the whole system. Okay, moving right along to section 2, who sells to whom? Let's map out this complex web. I know, the digital economy sometimes feels like a massive alphabet soup of acronyms, but it's really just describing the flow of goods. B2B and B2C, business to business and business to consumer, we get those, right? But the internet sparked some really creative models. Take B2B to C, where a business white labels a service for another company's clients. Or even C2C, where consumers bypass traditional retail entirely and just sell directly to each other. But hey, it goes way beyond just online shopping. Ever renewed your driver's license online? Boom, that's e-government in action. When your HR department rolls out a shiny new benefits portal, that's business to employee or BTE. The point is, this ecosystem is built to facilitate complex collaboration, not just pure consumerism. Now that we know who all the players are, Section 3, the Web 2.0 revolution. Let's talk about the tech that connected everyone. The internet didn't just slowly grow. It evolved in these crazy whiplash-inducing phases. We went from clunky early digital infrastructure right into the Google revolution, which made finding things basically instantaneous. That sparked Web 2.0, turning the internet from a read-only brochure into a massive interactive community. And ultimately, that led straight to fee commerce, where our social networks literally morphed into seamless digital storefronts. And that social evolution, it pushed us straight into virtual worlds. Think about pioneers like Second Life. And no, these aren't just video games. They are massive, user-defined digital economies. Even today, creators and entrepreneurs are making very real, very substantial money by designing and selling purely digital assets inside these virtual boundaries. Driving all of this, of course, are the classic tools of Web 2.0. Whether you're crowdsourcing knowledge on a wiki, pulling in syndications via RSS feeds, or broadcasting your thoughts out to the globe on a microblog like Twitter, these tools completely flipped the power dynamic. They changed business from a one-way broadcast into a real, two-way conversation with the market. Which brings us to Section 4, decoding EC business models. Let's look under the hood at how these companies actually survive. Any successful digital enterprise absolutely depends on these 8 core pillars. Obviously, you need a killer value proposition and a real market opportunity, but pay special attention down there at the bottom, the management team. Listen, even the absolute best, most innovative digital concept is going to fail without a skilled team to steer the ship. They are the linchpin that turns a plan into reality and gives outside investors the confidence to open their wallets. But to actually make money off that brilliant value proposition, you've got to pick the right revenue DNA. Are you going to rely on millions of eyeballs for advertising revenue? Maybe hook users with a free tier, a freemium model, before upgrading them to a subscription? Or perhaps just take a small cut of every sale as a transaction fee. The model you choose literally dictates the entire architecture of how your platform operates. When you leverage those models the right way, you transform a traditional company into a true digital enterprise. Basically, it means using IT as a strategic weapon to do three things: radically engage your customers, massively boost your team's productivity, and ruthlessly improve efficiency. Usually, this takes the shape of comprehensive corporate portals, secure gateways that connect everyone from the CEO all the way down to the end consumer. And finally, Section 5, Fueling the Digital Enterprise. Let's talk about the money. Because let's be real, building an empire requires fuel. And raising that capital isn't just some random stroke of luck. It's a highly structured journey with very specific milestones, each requiring you to tap into totally different networks of investors. It usually kicks off with a tight, polished elevator pitch to land that crucial initial seed capital. Once you've proven the concept works, you scale up by pitching to the traditional gatekeepers, incubators, VCs, commercial banks. But here's the real game changer today: equity crowdfunding. Thanks to regulations like the Jobs Act, digital enterprises can sometimes bypass Wall Street entirely and raise equity directly from the everyday crowd who believes in what they're building. So, we've mapped the networks, tracked the tech, decoded the business models, and figured out the funding. Now that you hold the map and compass to the entire e-commerce ecosystem, there's really only one question left to ask yourself. In this rapidly expanding digital economy, are you content just being a consumer clicking buy, or are you ready to use these frameworks to build the next great digital enterprise yourself? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I can't wait to see what you create.